New videos every day.
Stockings were first invented in 1589 by a minister. Reverend William Lee invented the first knitting machine and created the first stockings out of cotton, wool, and silk. Now, interestingly enough, for the first 200 years, men wore stockings. Women shaving their legs and wearing stockings has everything to do with how low the hemline is. For instance, in the 1920s, you may have seen those girls wearing the flapper dresses. The hemline was very, very short. So as it was more fashionable to have very nice legs, it was more fashionable to wear stockings. In 1915, sleeveless dresses became fashionable. In May of the same year, an advertisement ran in the Harper's Bazaar magazine, which featured a product to remove underarm hair. Let me read you that ad. Summer dress and modern dancing combine to make necessary the removal of objectionable hair. X-Bazin, depilatory powder, has been used by women of refinement for generations for the removal of objectionable hair. They're using psychology in order to sell their product to women. For instance, they say objectionable hair. They're trying to make it sound like underarm hair is unacceptable. They also mention necessary removal. Now, necessary is oxygen, it's food, it's water. They're trying to make it sound like it's vital for you to remove the underarm hair. They also say women of refinement have been using this product for generations. So they're trying to say, in order for you to be a woman of refinement, you have to use the product to remove the objectionable hair. So basically, they're playing off of the fear that people have of being socially rejected in order to sell their product. Advertisers took advantage of the sleeveless dresses as well as the shorter hemlines, and they began displaying women with hairless underarms. For example, McCall's magazine, it was a very popular women's magazine, started displaying these women in 1917, and in 1922, Sears Roebuck magazine actually started offering women's razors for sale. So by this time, it was pretty much a standard that women had to shave their underarms. Women shaving their legs wasn't popular for quite a while. Actually, since in the 1930s, the hemlines actually increased, women were completely satisfied with wearing stockings as well as shaving their underarms. Now, stockings used to be made out of silk, and we used to get the silk from Japan, and they're relatively expensive. Now, in 1937, DuPont, a chemical company, created the synthetic fiber nylon. And nylon was inexpensive relatively. It was also more durable and more sturdier than the silk stockings, and so they were obviously more popular. In 1940, the first nylon stocking was created, and in the first year, 64 million pairs of nylon stockings were sold to women, and the producers just could not keep up with the demand. Now, you may have noticed that back then, there used to be a seam running in the back of the leg of all stockings that were produced. Well, the reason is they would produce the stocking, and they actually had to literally bring it together, and they would sew right there, and that way it could make the shape of the leg. Now, in 1942, the U.S. joined the World War II effort, and the nylon producers actually went from producing the nylon stockings to helping out with the war. So nylon stockings were very scarce, and so the women, in order to make it look like they were wearing the nylon stockings, they would shave their legs, and they would take an eyebrow pencil, and they would draw a line up the backs of the legs to make it look like they were wearing the nylon stockings. Now, World War II eventually ended, and nylon stockings became available again. In the 1960s, the skirts got shorter and shorter, and obviously you cannot wear thigh-highs with a mini skirt, otherwise you look like a slut, and that's when they created the nylon pantyhose. Now, that was a time of revolution. You know, women were burning bras, and some of them didn't want to wear the pantyhose, and so they said, hey, if we can just shave, then we don't have to wear them. And that's how women got to shaving their underarms and their legs today. So why do women shave their underarms and shave their legs? Advertising. Advertising plays such a large role in influencing our society.